This time on Engine Masters presented by AMSOIL, we're gonna see if we can outrun Dodge SRT at their own game. We're gonna see if we can make Hellcat power, that's 707 horsepower, out of a stock, ancient 5.7 Hemi bottom end. Our project today is to find out how much power we can make out of this thing. That is a 2003 5.7 liter Hemi. This is the base Hemi. It doesn't have variable valve timing or anything like that. It's the model that they used in 2003 to 2008. You'll find it in trucks and cars. It should be the cheapest Gen 3 Hemi that you can find in a junkyard if you're looking to do something like this. But we needed it to make more power than its stock rating of 345 horsepower and 375 pound-feet of torque. But the short block we're using is completely stock, right down to the 9.6 to 1 compression ratio. The heads are also stock. However, they have been ported by SRT. Yeah, Steve got his hands on a really early set of sort of skunkworks heads from them, but it should be very similar to what you can find from like modern cylinder heads or other porters today. The camshaft has been upgraded to a comp. It's a hydraulic roller. It has 224, 228 degrees of duration at 50 thousandths tappet lift. It has 547, 550 lift, and the lobe separation angle is 114. These headers are from TTI, and they're actually engine swap headers to put this into an A body, like a Duster or something like that. Up top, we're running the Mopar 4-barrel single plane intake manifold. And you know what? I don't really recommend it. That thing is $900. And the fact is, you can make a better torque curve if you run like a stock truck intake manifold that has longer runners. And for EFI, we're running Holley's HP setup. This thing makes good horsepower, but not really a torque monster, but it's what we've got, and so it's what we're gonna run. And now we're gonna hang the thing on the dyno and find out what kind of power this thing can make naturally aspirated with just a few bolt-ons. This poor short block needs all the help it can get when we try and make like, I don't know, 675 horsepower with it with the supercharger. And when you're making more power, you're increasing the bearing loading from that top rod bearing shell onto the journal of the crankshaft. And what can happen, especially with impact loading with a power adder, is that the oil will sort of squirt out the sides of the bearing. And so AMSOIL is recommending their 1550 synthetic Dominator raising oil. The deal with this is that they say it has the toughest film strength of anything that they make to prevent that oil from, spooging out the sides under pressure. Just shy of 480, but that's probably as lean as we want to go. 13.3 up at the top, 400 pound-feet and 477 horsepower. And the horsepower looks like it's peaking at 6,700, which is really high for a 224 at 50 cam.
Yeah, these cylinder heads have pretty good airflow, and that cheats the cam, so it moves everything up. I mean, 477 is not bad. What do you think?
Boost is what I think.
Is it about time?
It needs boost. Now we're ready to make big power with boost. We're going to install this Paxton Novi 1500 supercharger. It's kind of a small centrifugal blower, but it is capable of making 825 horsepower, even though I don't think we're going to see that much on the Hemi today. But we are going to hang this thing on the motor using some pieces that are sort of cobbled together from a kit that would be for a Dodge Ram truck or a Chrysler 300 car or something like that. And we're going to use the intercooler from that kit as well. Now, an intercooler is needed because anytime you have a supercharger and you're making boost, whether it's a turbo or a centrifugal or even a roots blower, you're compressing air. That's what the boost measurement really is a measurement of compressed air. When you compress air, you make heat. And when you make heat in the inlet charge, you stand to actually lose power at the engine. So we want to cool it down with this air-to-water intercooler. This thing is pretty dinky. It just uses some water circulated through the coolant system, but it's better than nothing. This is also from the kit that came off that car. And we're blowing directly through a carburetor-style hat, which is going to go on the EFI throttle body on our motor.
The bottom end is completely stock. The crank, the rods, the pistons, and all that stuff. It's not really heavy duty enough to run high boost supercharged stuff reliably. You'd probably want to put a better piston in it to avoid blowing it up. I guess it's fun while it lasts, and we won't have any problem on the dyno. We're checking for horsepower. This thing can be upgraded for durability later. One of the advantages of the Hemi is fantastic airflow, kind of made even better with the CNC port work on this particular set of heads. That about wraps it up. I mean, there's not much more to it. We're putting the supercharger on. Hopefully that's gonna pump up the power. I don't know if we'll reach 707 horsepower to match the Hellcat, but if everything works right, it ought to be pretty close.
How much boost is it gonna make?
I think it makes like 12 or 13 pounds.
Really?
This is the big blower. The standard one is 1200 CFM, and
This is 1500.
yeah, I really don't want to blow it up. It's my motor.
Does it have enough miles on it that the end gap is probably shot?
I think it's pretty well worn in.
I think so.
I don't see any blow-by though. I actually have a kit to make a stroker out of this motor.
Well, maybe we can force you to install it right now. I didn't even look. What kind of power is it making?
It's not better than 650, maybe
Really?
660, yeah.
What do you know? We proved that boost makes power.
We're geniuses.
Genius.
We also have 112 octane fuel in it right now, just because this thing being bone stock, we don't want to detonate it and leave parts lying all over Steve's dyno cell.
Yeah, with this kind of boost and this kind of horsepower, the cylinder pressure's up there. The intercooler obviously helps, but again, 91 octane. It's just a little scary.
Yeah.
A hyper-eutectic piston, I mean, if it rattles once, there's no second
can do
time.
it though.
Oh yeah,
you can do it.
You can.
You know. And
Well, if you had this in like a drag week car, you could drive it around on 91 and then pour good gas in it and race the thing. It's pretty good. What was our peak boost? 10? I'm trying to see, did we actually have a 50% power gain?
10.6.
At 10? Dulcich wasn't happy that the connecting rods were still inside the motor. And he noticed that it wasn't making enough power, and it's because the boost is dropping up here. And with this blower, the only way that would happen, I think, is belt slip, right?
Yeah, that's probably the only thing that's going to cause that. And we saw some residue out there on the blower of the belt slipping, so pretty good indicator.
Fix it. How much rubber's on it?
Well, you can see all kinds of dust and debris from this belt eating itself up.
Yeah, for sure.
So what we're gonna do is try to put a little sticky stuff on the belt, and hopefully that'll grip the pulley a little bit better and let it spin up all the way to 7 grand. What do you think?
You want 700 horsepower,
I want
don't
it.
you?
Yeah, let's see what
Not
it'll
gonna
do. Huh?
Not happening.
Not going there?
No.
All right. Look, you're firing it up on the end.
The fuel's not on though.
Yeah.
So run it. You're looking for 700, right?
yeah, I want 7.
Nosed over right at the top. I saw it climb. I almost saw 11
I
and then
wanted to, but it just couldn't get there. you
couldn't
know?
do it.
Yeah.
No.
What do you do about that?
You put a cog belt on it?
And then you don't have any problems anymore, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I think your goop didn't work.
Well, that's all I had to work with.
Oh, look at that. Oh, Dolchek. I thought you were the engine master.
I needed the VHT.
The wrong goop.
Yeah, that was the WD-40. What else you got?
There is stuff to learn here. For example, notice that this has got a centrifugal supercharger on it, which unlike a turbo especially, or in some cases a roots blower, is not making as much boost in the lower RPM range as it is up here, which is why the gap in horsepower gain reduces the lower that the RPM is. But you don't really care, because in the end you're making a zillion more horsepower than you are naturally aspirated.
Yeah, in this particular application, being a hyper-eutectic piston and kind of a weaker rod, that may be better to have a little less
definitely.
power and a little less
Yeah.
boost, way down a little bit low peak torque with no
Yeah.
engine speed.
Well, that's another thing a lot of people don't realize is that, like, making big cylinder pressure at low RPM punishes the motor more than making it at high RPM. And that's all about time. You're spending more time at top dead center at lower RPM than you are at higher RPM.
Yeah, that's how you break stuff, right?
Oh, we know how to do that. Let's go turn the boost up.
Let's do it.
No, we're good. I like it. So Dulcich, this made good power, but it's hideous. It really is ugly.
What do you mean? It's not that bad. Come on, you can dress it up with valve covers and, spiff up the paint.
I don't know. I remember LS motors, when those came out, they were really ugly, and now the aftermarket sort of embraced them. Has that happened with the Chrysler Hemi?
Well, I think they're still working on it.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But it actually made pretty good power, considering bone stock short block. It's got a cam, ported heads, a questionable intake manifold, and it
not
made
much else.
477 and 400 pound-feet. Not bad.
Well, I think it's pretty good.
And the boost, pretty easy setup to do. Not like a full-on turbocharger or anything, but 660 horsepower, nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, that'll move a car down the road.
What I really want to find out is naturally aspirated trim. Same exact mods on a 5.7 LS motor. Who wins?
Hemi.
You're just saying that because you're a Mopar guy.
No.
I don't think it happens.
We'll have to prove it.
That's what we got to do.
Yeah.
We got a bunch more episodes coming and a lot more shootouts like that to do. But we also like you to look at MotorTrendOnDemand.com. Lots of stuff for Motor Trend, as well as live motorsports, TV shows, movies, all of that stuff. So stay tuned for future episodes of Engine Masters presented by AMSOIL. You know what the problem is, Dulcich?
What's that?
That noise in the background.
It's like an espresso maker. My latte is prepared.
So yeah, that's a repeatable 660 horsepower, 5.7 liter Hemi.
That's pretty fun out of a stalker.
It is. At a junkyard junk.
Do I put it in the orange duster now, Freiberger?
No.
No?
No.
You won't let me?
No.
All right.
Too much technology.
Yeah, you're right. It is good, though.